Today, I'll be unboxing and installing the Kuat NV 2.0 bike rack. Let's get this video started. Hey, what's up YouTube world? It's Ryan from Riding in Style. And today I'm actually accomplishing multiple things with this one video. Yes, I will be unboxing and installing the bike rack that I've mentioned, but I'm also testing out this tripod. It's one of those bendable ones that you could wrap around things. Right now I just have it in a traditional tripod stance. And then I'm also testing out this ridiculously looking microphone that's currently under my shirt, just to see how the audio quality is. I am outdoors, and you know, there is a lot of ambient noises in the atmosphere. There's birds chirping, there's the occasional car that drives by, the occasional plane that flies over. So what I'm trying to do is just test out this audio, being in an outdoor setting. I'm going to do it with it under my shirt, and then maybe at some point I'll bring it out to be exposed, just to see if that makes a difference with the wind. It does have a wind protector on it right now, and it's basically this little, it's called a Professional Mini Mic Pro. It's 2 transmitters, 1 receiver, which is plugged into my phone's USB-C port. So we'll see how it goes. Could this be another bike? Well, whatever it is, it's made over there. So I currently have this Go Rhino 2-inch receiver. It's just like a bumper protector. Some of you might have remembered the video where I installed this and put it on. But this will essentially be where the bike rack goes. It'll hang out. And I'm curious to see this bike rack here, the Kuat NV 2.0. And here it is. So I've done a lot of research and, you know, just tried to see which bike to get. As most of you know, I'm thinking of getting at least a couple of bikes, but yeah, just to see. And this is the extender. You can add a 3rd bike. Essentially, this one's for 2 bikes. So I'm going to do a quick unboxing and show you folks what it looks like. Here it is. Wow. I'm actually liking this color already. It basically really does pop out. So I originally ordered the black one, but I sent it back because then I wanted to see what this one would look like. With the, it's actually a dark gray, and this orange here, I think it looks actually a lot nicer. Typically I would go with just the black. It's simple, but this one I wanted something that was a little more eye-catching. So this is what it looks like out of the box. And for the add-on, 1 bike add-on, they actually sent me the wrong one initially. They sent me a 2 bike add-on, which is significantly more expensive, but they charged me for the 1 bike. I did the right thing. I sent it back, and I just got the 1 bike add-on, and they have thanked me for my honesty. But here is the smaller setup, basically made for one up to a fat tire e-bike. I think it goes up to maybe like a 4.5-inch tire, maybe even a 5-inch tire. We'll see as we go along, but first impressions. I'm glad it matches. I'm glad it's the same color. So I decided to just take it off the table, and I'm going to slowly take these parts out and then lay them on the table. Not sure what that is. Probably the hardware box. All right. Slowly I'll begin this assembly process. I'm not going to record the whole process. I'm going to just put it together and then show you what it looks like when it's finished. So now I'm recording this small portion of the video with no microphone, no external microphone, just the internal microphone on my phone. And this is what it looks like out of the box. These are your main parts here. This is the receiver itself. Hardware's in there. And basically you have 5 main parts. This is half of the where the bike goes on, and the other half, this is what locks the bike in, as well as these straps here. Anyway, if you stay to the end, there's a couple of accessories and bonus add-ons that I want to show you that go along with this setup. Stay tuned. So far everything's packaged pretty nicely. In the box is all the hardware. Just saw this, I thought this was interesting. It looks like it actually mounts somewhere, and it's a heavy-duty Allen wrench in its own little case here, so that's pretty neat. So I basically took everything out. This is the hardware you receive, the hitch pin with the locking keys. And what I didn't notice is any instructions. So then I find this little envelope and I open it up, and there's like some, I guess, a little bit of cards in there, and then there's this user guide instructions, and then you actually have to scan the QR code to get the assembly instructions. So if any of you are deciding to pick up this rack, don't expect to see like your traditional book instructions. It'll be on this QR code right there that you could probably scan even now in this video. Alright guys, so I just opened that little QR code that I told you to scan, and basically there's different, it takes you to a site. It has all their accessories, and there is an installation video, but I quickly realized that that video is not that great. I mean, it goes by really quickly, which is good. I'm not saying it's all bad. It's just it goes by quick, and when you're not sure, you're going to have a lot of stopping and pausing and going back and then looking and pausing and hoping to kind of see what they're doing. So because I already committed to making this video, I'm going to make it an installation video and show you step by step how to do it through my eyes. And so hopefully this helps some of you that may be considering this rack, and maybe a smoother install. So we are going to start the installation now. First step is to find the big hitch receiver. You're going to actually undo this lock, and we're going to pull out the pole on the other end. So coming on this side, we unlocked it there, and then we just have to pull this pole out like so, and then we're going to actually put an end cap, but I think it's actually going to be this here end cap on that end there. All right, so once we take this pole out of the hitch receiver, the receiver's on this end here, what we're going to do is we're just going to install this tool in there, just like that. And this is where that Allen wrench goes. We're just going to push it in until it locks. And there you go. That's where it's at. Moving on to step 2. Next, we're going to start installing the tire trays. So you can see there's a letters. This is A, the other side is D, and then the other ends are labeled B and C. So you're supposed to match the letters, but since it won't be like A to A and B to B, I'm going to start by saying it's going to be A matches with B and C matches with D. I stand corrected. As I mentioned here, there are letters, and they actually match up with the sides here that they will be connected to. So if you see over there is A and then C. So that's why I do my little closer inspection. It is kind of windy today, and like I said before, I'm trying out this microphone, so hopefully the audio is coming through. Now we're moving on, continuing with step 2. So once you have the letters matched up here, I want to say it's C, and I guess this was D, I think. Make sure the tray is facing the right way. Right now, everything's going to be upside down. Same with this side. Make sure that the straps are on the bottom, and the word, everything should just be upside down, which is very uncomfortable, but it's temporary. And so the long bolts, like this, goes in through here, and then it basically goes all the way through, and then The nut goes in there, and then you just tighten it, but you have to alternate so that it gets tight evenly between the two bolts there. Also, you can see that so where the circle is, one side has a circle, the other side has like a, what's that, like a hexagon, 6 sides. You're gonna notice that that's the side that this goes in on the circle, and then the nut goes in on the opposite side with the hexagon. You'll figure that out, but this is a thing that they don't really show you in the install video. So just little things that I learned, I'm gonna point it out. And you'll also notice this, because on this side, you're not gonna be able to get the screw in this way because of this arm is in the way. But it's not meant for the bolt. It's actually meant for the nut there. Just a little quick tip, and then that's where I mentioned you'll alternate tightening both sides simultaneously. Pro tip, also just make sure that when you put in the bolt, you put it in the right way. So this little blue section will actually go in last. So this will be placed in this way, and it fits right in that little groove. And if you don't do it the correct way, the threads will not actually grab, and I will have to correct this. Just a little pro tip there. And there it is, we got the first tire tray installed. And again, you do want to alternate tightening the two sides together. I usually go about 3 or 4 turns each once the threads grab, just so that they can cinch at the same time instead of one side pulling and the other side being kind of at an angle. That's not good, and you could damage the bolt. Now moving on to the other side, the issue that I mentioned earlier, because of this arm being installed, preventing this screw from going, or this bolt from going in, this one for the A side actually comes pre-installed for that same reason, because you're not able to install it here. But the way it needs to be set up, this one is going to be already installed. You just have to unscrew the other end, this and install it that way. Once you have completed all the steps that we've covered so far, this is where you should be. Everything's looking pretty good. Make sure that bolts are tightened. I went back one more time just to double check. And now we'll move on to step 3. So here in step 3, you will need this here, which is called a pivot lever, as well as the supplied screw. And this will actually go on this side. There's this exposed fitting there, and you can see it fits right there. So we will just put this on like so, and then we will put the screw in through there. There it is. Moving on now to step 4. Okay, so step 4 will involve installing the trail dock head, which will be this attachment here, as well as the pole that we removed in the very beginning. And with this big bolt right there, the bottom of this pole will just screw in to that, and that will be a trail dock. I'm also switching out the microphone. It's on the outside now. I've been alternating between inside the shirt, outside with the windscreen, as well as just the audio from the phone camera itself. So I'll be testing it out. It is very windy, so this is actually a really good test for this microphone. Right now I'm just gonna screw these both together, and I will show you where to install it. So now that we've got it screwed on nice and tight, it actually goes back in the part where we first removed the pole. We unlock it there, and then we simply just slide it in. And lock it. So far, I am very impressed with this bike rack. I mean, it's been upside down the whole time, but so far, I mean, it's just looking really good. The quality is great. It's a solid build. It is very robust. It's also comes with some weight too, so that is something to consider. Yeah, we're almost done. What I'm left with is this little piece that I'm not even sure where it goes. And then this is your hitch lock here with the keys, along with the matching, pretty nice, the orange, looks like anodized, like a burnt orange bottle opener. And that is the install of the Kuat NV 2.0. I will go over what it does maybe in a separate video, but what I will end this one on is just installing that one and then basically attaching it to this so you could see what it looks like. All right, so essentially you get exactly the same thing but cut in half, missing the big tow hitch piece, but this will just literally, not sure where the audio got cut off, but anyway, this is essentially the one bike add-on. It's the same thing minus the big tow hitch receiver, and it's basically it's half of everything. So real quick install, and then I will try to combine these two huge pieces together. And that's it. Here is the install of the one bike add-on. It will be connected with these two, with this end here going into the far end up there, and then they will be, so I'll be removing that trail dock there, installing it through that area, and then using this longer bolt to secure the third bike add-on to the original rack. This video took a lot longer than I wanted it to, but that's because I wanted to do a more thorough install instead of a quick, like, hey, look at this out of the box and boom, here it is already installed on the vehicle. That doesn't help many people. So I wanted to take it upon myself to be the guy that goes back and forth between the install video and then actually picking up the camera and showing you what comes next. That way you have a more comprehensive video. So with that, I'm going to actually move my car a little forward, and that way we can install it and see what it looks like. This thing is a beast to carry and install by yourself. It's doable, but I mean, depending on your physical ability and mobility, that might be a limiting factor. But here it is installed without the third bike tray, just to kind of give you an idea of what it would look like. I'm actually going to go a step further and include some measurements here just to give you an idea of how far it sticks out. So based on toward the end of my bumper there until the end of this initial ramp here, we're looking at about 3 feet, good 36 inches. And yes, the driveway is in a slope, but just to kind of give you an idea, it's about, I would say, 30 inches in height off of the ground level. Of course, that could dip a little bit if my truck wasn't on a slope. But again, just to give you initial measurements, and then while we're here, let's just go with the width as well. So I'm going to put this over there. From the widest point, we are at just about 63 inches. So it's just inside of the overall width of at least my vehicle, which is a Toyota 4Runner. And now to add on the tray, what we're going to do is actually unlock this bottom part over here. So it's on this side actually, so that we can take this out. And this thing is in very snug too. I like this little accessory pole. But we're going to take that out, and then we're going to undo this bolt in here using their provided Allen key. And then this add-on here has the 2 bolts that are going to go in there, and they also provide the add-on comes with its own special key to reach tightening these. I'll show you that once I put this in there. Right now it's in, but I only have it propped up with my leg, and so this is the longer Allen key that'll be required to tighten the bolts that are located inside of there to secure this to the existing rack. All right. So this is with the third bike add-on. As you can see, it staggers. You have a front tire there, and then the other front tire there and there. It's not that far. I think it's only about a 9-inch gap in between bikes, essentially, if you're going to load 3 bikes. But this is what it looks like initially. I'm going to take some new measurements, but the next thing we're going to do is install this end cap and then put the trail dock at the very end. So this was the bolt that came with the original, the 2-bike one, and then the 3-bike, the third 1-bike add-on comes with a little bit of a longer bolt. So you want to make sure that when you do install this end cap that we're using the correct bolt there. And there it is. This is the finished product. I'll take some new measurements like I mentioned, and so the trail dock is installed, and let's see how big this total rack is. The overall width is going to stay the same, but the length, based on how far it sits behind your vehicle, will change. And so I'm going to go with about a 46, maybe a 48 inch. And that is about accurate because we're still using like the existing end cap and trail there, and this is really the only extension is about a foot. So that does make sense. So overall, you're looking at about a 4-foot system sticking out behind your vehicle, your hitch. I do have it in. There's only one hole to put it in for the tow hitch there, and then I do have the locking pin as well. Now, as I promised, I wanted to show you some accessories that you could get for this bike that you may consider or may actually need. So one accessory is the Kuat fat bike kit. If you're going to be using this rack to install any e-bikes that come with like even a 3 or 4 inch, up to I want to say a 4.5 inch tire, you will need to get this fat bike kit. And if you are going to use this for like an e-bike, keep in mind that those bikes are very heavy. And I want to say that these are limited in weight to about 60 to 65 pounds per tray, at least on the first 2, on the original rack. And I want to say it dips for the third bike add-on to maybe 55 or 60 pounds, maybe. I know the third bike add-on is, it only has room for a lighter bike. And essentially, if you had the 4th add-on, it would be also even lighter because, leverage, it's sticking further and further back from the hitch point there. So if you do have an e-bike, it does get very heavy. And like I said, this is about maybe 2 to 2.5 feet off the ground that you'll have to pick up your bike. However, Kuat does also sell this bike ramp, and that will just make your life even a little easier. And let me just show you what this looks like. So here is the ramp going in, locking in with both sides at a 20-degree angle. Yes, my car is on a decline, but how this works is, there's no way your bike's going to get up on this ramp like this. It's like almost climbing up a wall, but there are some levers back here that we could actually loosen to extend. You can actually extend. So I'm going to just loosen them. There's one on the top and bottom, and essentially you can double the ramp range out to here. So it's probably more like a 45-degree angle. Easier to roll your bikes on and off. And if you're going to do an e-bike, you put it in walk mode basically, and it will propel itself up and onto the tray there. However, some bikes might be too heavy, and you may have to take out the battery just to meet the weight limit of this ramp. And so that's something that I'm actually thinking about, because the bikes that I was looking at, even without the batteries, they're around 70, 72 pounds, and these racks are rated for 65 pounds each. I don't want to push them too far. But anyway, this is the one accessory that is available to you That way you don't have to lift up, even though you don't have an e-bike, even regular bikes, mountain bikes, you could just lift them up. You don't have to. You can roll them now on and off. So that's an accessory that I find very valuable. So I don't even know how long this total video is. It was just a bunch of little clips here and there. It's probably longer than normally I like to make my videos, about 12-15 minutes long. But I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a comment below, leave a like on this one. This is the microphone now exposed. It is very windy today, so I don't even know what the audio quality looks like until I go ahead and check out this this playback. But this is the install video of the Kuat NV 2.0 along with the finished product. There we go. And I will say there are many features that come with this ramp, and I will cover them in another video. But for right now, I just want to say thank you for watching. It's been an interesting morning for me, and I'm kind of exhausted. It's been a lot of thinking and going back and forth, but I'm glad I was able to put this video. Maybe it might help someone, a few of you out there thinking of considering buying this ramp. It's not cheap. The ramp was around like $800-ish, maybe $850. And then the add-on is like another $300, almost $400. So you're looking at $1,100 to $1,200 in just a bike rack right there, not even a bike. So they're not cheap. It's a huge investment, and the ramp is about another $100. We'll see if Kuat, you know, gives me some type of a link where if you watch this video and use it, you could get like a discount, because any little bit helps, you know, especially in today's times. But I do want to thank you all for watching. This is Ryan from Riding in Style.